strange medical story out of Australia. You're looking at a CAT scan of a 30-year-old woman who showed up at an emergency room complaining of stomach pain. Well, that white thing in her gut is dental wire from a set of braces. The woman had not worn braces in about 10 years, and that's how long the wire had been in her intestine. Doctors were able to remove it during surgery. So they said that's pretty rare, though. So don't worry if you have braces.
If you're concerned, it should be fine.
Hey, a Portland teenager is working to make a difference in the fight against type 1 diabetes.
15-year-old Rohan Aluwalia has lived with the condition his whole life. And last month, he traveled to Washington, D.C. for a children's congress. It was sponsored by the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Well, Rohan and others are asking Congress to renew funding for diabetes research, and Rohan himself actually wants to become a researcher to help fix this and come up with a cure.
Very cool. Hey, when it comes to illegal marijuana, the state of Nevada is gambling on a big tourism boom, but it might be a bad bet.
Yeah, right now there's a big problem with that plan because some Las Vegas tourists are having trouble smoking marijuana legally. Why being forced to smoke inside is just one of the many big challenges that they're facing. That story is just part of a big morning of news coming up on CBS this morning. That starts at 7 right here on KOIN 6. Now on KOIN 6 News this morning, a change at the top. We're live with what we've learned about the woman tabbed to take over the Portland Police Bureau.
Plus, grading the commander-in-chief, we will break down a brand new poll that shows how you feel President Trump has done over the first 6 months in the Oval Office.
And with 13 days to go, we'll tell you why smoke isn't the only problem fires are causing for people who plan to see the solar eclipse.
KOIN 6 News this morning starts right now.
And speaking of smoke, we are waking up to more of it hanging around our area. You're looking live at the gorge from our Skamania Lodge camera. And most of the smoke is coming from fires in Canada and in our area. Now, an air quality advisory remains in effect into tonight. And with that, good morning, everyone. I'm Jenny Hansen.
And I'm Trevor Alden for Ken Body. Along with that smoke, of course, I suppose it's no surprise by now, we're also going to be dealing with the heat again today. Meteorologist Joseph Dames gets us started with the details on that.
Another day warming up into the 90s. It's going to be a hot Tuesday. We're starting off foggy this morning, so that shot that we saw through the Columbia River Gorge, most of that is fog this morning. It will dissipate, but this afternoon we'll have some sunshine, and that smoke is going to remain smoke-filled sky as we go into our Tuesday. So it's 61 degrees right now in Vancouver. The wind is calm. It will pick up just a little bit as we head into the afternoon. We'll keep those clouds and some fog pretty much along the coast and through areas of the Columbia. It takes that path of least resistance there in the river. Temperatures in the 50s to near 72 degrees there for the Dalles this morning. How about that? Pretty warm if you're heading east or if you're in that area. This afternoon we're going to warm up to the 70s by lunchtime, 77 degrees, so pretty warm. But then we'll top off right around the lower 90s. Yesterday we hit 89. I think we'll be a few degrees warmer this afternoon, and it's going to remain pretty hazy. So that air quality is a little low, and it is going to be smoky out there. I'll let you know when we could kick this out and kind of improve things coming up in my full forecast in just a few minutes. Carly, anything with the commute this morning?
Well, I do have a traffic alert for you. It won't impact you that much here. It's on I-5 northbound at Terwilliger. Right there on the on-ramp, there's a stall, and that stall is partially blocking, but traffic is getting by. So again, that's I-5 northbound at Terwilliger. The stall is right there. You can see the headlights and the flashes there off to the side, but there's plenty of room to the left of that vehicle to get by. Now, I-5 southbound is 11 minutes due to rush hour slowing. We've got rush hour on I-84, 8 minutes there, and from I-205, 5 minutes on 26 because of a little bit of slowing before the tunnel. Now, it hasn't slowed yet on I-205 southbound here from Highway 224 to I-5, so expect only 12 minutes. 8 minutes on 217 southbound, and a commute that hasn't slowed on I-5 northbound, which is only 17 minutes from Wilsonville to downtown.
Carly, thank you. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler is making good on a campaign promise, bringing in a new chief to lead the Portland Police Bureau.
And current police chief Mike Marshman is now retiring. Brent Weisberg is live this morning with what we know so far about this new chief. Brent?
Hey, good morning, Jenny and Trevor. We can tell you that the new police chief will be in town on Thursday for a press conference, and she will likely meet other city leaders. Danielle Outlaw is coming from Oakland, California, where she is serving currently as the deputy police chief down there for the Oakland Police Department. This decision by Mayor Ted Wheeler has really kind of shaken up the police bureau here. As you can imagine, reaction is mixed. She will become the next chief of police, and Danielle Outlaw will also the first African-American female chief for the city of Portland ever, and will become the third ever police chief from outside bureau ranks. She replaces current police chief Mike Marshman. He was hired in April 1991, and he would rise through the ranks and would become the bureau's point person when it came to the settlement the Department of Justice reached with the Portland Police Bureau. He became chief in June of 2016 after former police chief Larry O'Day retired amid controversy following an off-duty shooting incident in Harney County. In a statement, Police Chief Mike Marshman said that he is confident the Bureau will continue to be a leader in 21st century policing, and said, quote, "The community should rest easy knowing that they have one of the best police departments in the country." Danielle Outlaw, as I mentioned, is going to be in town on Thursday. As for Chief Mike Marshman, his retirement date has not been set. Reporting live, I'm Brent Weisberg for KOIN 6 News.
Yeah, Brent, I remember when Chief Marshman was named as interim police chief, you said that a chief from decades ago had said when you take this job, the chief just has to assume that they're going to get fired.
Yes.
It will be interesting to see if maybe we can finally get some stability in this position as Portland Police Bureau chief. Thanks for that report.
Well, there are new developments in the search for a missing Washington County woman. The car belonging to Demi Hellenius has been located, but there's still no sign of the 23-year-old Rock Creek woman. She was last seen Saturday in Portland. Now, yesterday, her car was found in Cottage Grove, just a few miles from the Lane County Dairy Queen, where her cell phone was turned in late Saturday night. Her parents, meantime, are just waiting for any updates.
That night, my husband and I went I-5 as far as past Salem, and we checked the sides of the roads, we checked all the rest stops.
So far, investigators say there's no sign of foul play. If you have any information, call investigators in Washington County.
The body of a missing Salem boy has been recovered from the Willamette River. Crews found the body of 5-year-old Alan Chaz Pearson yesterday, about 13 miles downriver from where he was last seen on Friday. The death is being investigated as a drowning.
Well, a brand new report says the United States is already feeling the effects of climate change. Scientists from 13 federal agencies contributed to the study, and they say temperatures have risen dramatically over the past 4 decades. Now, the New York Times is reporting some of the researchers involved in the project are worried the full report will be suppressed. The Environmental Protection Agency is one of the agencies that has to approve it. Well, the EPA's administrator says he doesn't believe carbon dioxide contributes to global warming.
Well, President Donald Trump's overall approval rating currently stands at its lowest point in CNN polling. Overall, 38% say they approve of Trump's handling of the presidency, with 56% saying they disapprove. Meanwhile, 26% of Americans say they trust all or most of what they hear in official communications from the White House, while 30% say they trust nothing at all that they hear from the president's office.
Well, the massive whitewater fire burning in the Mount Jefferson wilderness will keep trails and camping areas closed through the solar eclipse. Now, this morning, crews are worried that weather will not help them get that fire under control anytime soon.
There are thunderstorms that are coming up. We've been keeping an eye on them coming up from California. Right now, we're still uncertain if they'll actually hit this area specifically, but regardless, we are expecting a little bit of impact from those storms based on winds they might produce.
The blaze has scorched more than 5,000 acres since it was sparked by lightning July 23rd. Well, the solar eclipse is less than 2 weeks away, and it could end up being one of the most recorded events of all time.
Of course, that means cell service is really going to be jammed because millions of people expected to crowd into the path of totality. So AT&T is bringing some extra equipment to Madras that will help ease some of the digital congestion. It should increase service by about 200%. Madras is considered one of the best places to watch the eclipse. Even NASA themselves are going to have a team on the ground there. And of course, you want to be sure to stick with KOIN 6 as we keep our eyes on this eclipse. We'll have complete coverage from now until the big event on August 21st. You can always check out all our coverage anytime on KOIN.com.
Of course, we're hoping our smoke from our fires doesn't ruin the eclipse viewing, right?
You know, as we saw, the Whitewater fire is already going to cause some problems and closures. So hopefully things get better and improve, but at least for the next couple of days, I expect it to still be pretty hazy and smoky outside. Mainly because it's so hot out there, it's trapping all those particles close towards the surface. We have the wildfires that are blowing smoke in our direction too from the north, and that's going to just be our recipe for these smoky conditions over the next couple of days. I want to start us off with this. It's been 52 days without any sort of precipitation. If we get through today, let's chalk another day on there and be 53. Starting us off with this though, because it'll be 67 days if we reach the solar eclipse that we were just discussing of no rain. And we do have one day in the forecast again where we might see some precipitation, but at least for the next couple of days, we aren't going to tap into any sort of moisture like that. So our fire conditions for today still pretty active. We continue to have those wildfires across the state and across the whole Pacific Northwest and stretching down through the west and up towards Canada. We're going to have some summer heat today. Temperatures in the lower 90s, so it's hot, it's dry. A north breeze about 5 to 10 miles per hour, and that low-level breeze coming out of the north is what helped push a lot of that smoke in. And the Cascades might even see a few thunderstorms as we go later on into today and into tomorrow, which could spark even more lightning, which could cause some nature-started fires. So hopefully we don't get that. Temperatures right now in the 60s and 70s. We do have some fog from Portland to Vancouver along the Columbia and off towards the coast. 56 for Astoria, Newport at 55 right now. This afternoon we'll get rid of those clouds, but we'll just keep the sun shining, that haze in the sky. So it's going to remain pretty smoke-filled as we go into this afternoon. We'll be topping off right around 91 degrees today, so maybe a few more degrees warmer than yesterday. We managed to stay below 90 yesterday. We topped off at 89 degrees, so how about that? We have this air quality warning, and all this section in gray, it pretty much covers the state. And you're going to have to limit your outdoor activity because we're going to have the smoke and some ozone out there. You'll have to really worry about that. There is one thing that's going to clear us up, though, eventually. It's not going to happen today. We're going to keep the same conditions. But here, all the way into the Gulf of Alaska is what we're watching because that's where we see changes. They come from the west. And we have this deep trough off to the west, which might take a few days. I'm talking about maybe Friday or Saturday before it really changes anything. But we do have that potential change. It could bring in some cooler weather and it also reduce the smoke, and I think that's going to come likely on Friday. For the meantime, we're just kind of stuck in this high pressure, which is going to leave us with those smoky conditions as we do move forward. So along the coast today, temperatures in the 70s and 60s, some morning fog. We saw that on the seaside camera this morning. This afternoon we'll warm up to the 90s, finally starting to see some cooler weather potentially Saturday and maybe even a chance for some rain, Carly, on Sunday.
For those of you who take TriMet, just to let you know that the TriMet ticket machines are taking credit cards now, so processing credit card payments if you need to pay that way. Let's take a look at the Portland metro area. I-5 southbound, well, there's a little bit of slowing there and on I-84, but not too much on 26 or on I-5 northbound in from Wilsonville. There is a stall, though, on I-5 northbound at Terwilliger. It's actually right there on the on-ramp, partially blocking. It's going to be hard to see because it's pretty much behind those trees off to the left-hand side. But traffic is getting by to the left of that vehicle that is stalled on that on-ramp. I-5 southbound is 11 minutes, so some slowing there in from Vancouver, 9 minutes on I-205. Then check out I-26, eastbound 11 minutes, westbound 13, and it looks great right now on I-84. And from Troutdale, you'll just hit a little bit of slowing around the Gateway District.
All right, thank you, Carly. It is 6:11, and coming up, it is life on the edge in one neighborhood where a quickly growing sinkhole is posing some huge problems.
Plus, this would have been an interesting one to see on Carly's traffic map. An occupied gurney blocks traffic in Washington state. We have more on the situation that has a coroner struggling for an explanation.
Welcome back. You're watching Point 6 News, watching out for you.
Welcome back at 6:14. Police in Britain are searching for a jogger who pushed a woman into the path of an oncoming bus. Look at that. This incident happened earlier this year. It was caught on camera. You're looking at it now. Thankfully, the driver avoided hitting her, and the woman only had minor injuries, but now London Metropolitan Police have released this video in the effort to identify the attacker. We're also trying to learn more about a strange story out of Olympia. A gurney that was occupied by a dead person fell from the back of a coroner's van into traffic.
Yeah, that gurney holding a person was found in an intersection, while a second unoccupied gurney rolled down the street and was found in a parking lot. The Thurston County's coroner says that an investigation has started to figure out what led up to all this. He says there was not any trauma to the body and the family was notified.
7 homes near a massive Florida sinkhole have now been condemned. The hole in Land O'Lakes first opened up on July 14th. Crews were trying to fill it, but they had to stop their work over the weekend when the edges collapsed again, expanding this hole by another 30 feet. Engineers say they are currently monitoring the hole to make sure that it has actually stabilized. The Clark County Fair is on right now, and there is something for every member of the family to enjoy.
Cor Harlan live this morning at the fairgrounds in Ridgefield with more on that. Hey, Cor.
Hey, it's a great day at the fair. Transitional day today. A lot of the farm animals that have been here for the last 5 days are going to be transitioning out of here tonight, and they're going to bring in several hundred, maybe 500 new animals for the second half of the fair. It's always a big day here. Some of the rodeo events are starting today here at the Clark County Fair as well, with the mutton busting at 2 o'clock at the grandstand area. Bull riding tonight at 7 o'clock is also a popular favorite. In a half hour, we'll tell you a little bit more about some of the motorsports events that are coming here for the next 5 days, including Tough Trucks, Demolition Derby Thursday. But we're here at the Kaiser Permanente Sudsy Barn because a lot of people are out here petting animals and all the rest of that stuff. And this is just basically a refresher. We thought it'd be kind of fun to do this. A refresher on washing your hands. Now come up here, Carl, because you got to listen to this real close, okay? You push your foot on a button, same pours out water, the cow does. Listen.
How fun is it to pet the animals? But make sure you wash your hands for 20 seconds after you do.
She's talkative. She has a little accent, too, I think. And you push it again, you get a different recording.
Oh, you're wicked smart for washing your hands for 20 seconds.
I am wicked smart. Oh, yes, baby. Wicked smart. Okay, can you do that one? And then you come over here to the chicken. Everybody knows the backside of a chicken is the best place to be dry and warm. There's a little hand dryer there. Kaiser Permanente Sudsy Barn. It's in proximity right here to all the milking cows and all the rest of that. So Trevor and Jenny, you're well aware that you need to count the ABCs when you're washing your hands, right?
Yeah, Trevor does it all the time.
A, B,
C, D.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just always sing through my ABCs so I know how long to wash my hands.
There's a Fran Drescher. Sounds like Fran Drescher. A cow with an attitude.
Oh, I don't know that I've ever watched a live shot with a singing cow and a hand washing demonstration. Yes, that was something.
That was helpful. Educational.
It was educational, yes.
That was good. It's the first, the resume tape material, what that is. They call that resume tape material.
Get you out of here to the big markets. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Cor. We're done.
That was going to be really good.
I'm sure it was.
Straight to the top for Cor Harlan. All right, let's get a check on your weather and your traffic. Carly, the roads seem to be doing okay for Tuesday. They were all right yesterday as I held them down for you. I was very grateful for that.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that.
Of course, the weather's also been so consistent. I do think that I could probably do that too, because it's just been the same thing every day, Joseph.
I'd like to see that.
It's been kind of the same song and dance. Yeah, it definitely has been. There are some changes coming, so you'd probably be able to handle the first couple of days, and you can hand it off, and then you can toss it over towards me. It's going to be smoky again, no doubt about that today. We get later on to the week, we'll have some changes. I want to kick this off with our pet walk forecast, though. Great day. As far as starting off this morning, it's going to be pretty comfortable, rather a great start to our morning, but it does get a little hot and smoky this afternoon. We'll start us off with 7 to about 9. We'll have those temperatures in the 60s, warming up to 91 this afternoon. This shot is Drysdale, great St. Bernard, I believe. I think this dog has been sent in a couple times. I love this dog, so every time I see it, I put it on here. It's just a great shot. You can send your photos in at that link right here at the bottom. It's coin.com/petwalk. Great shot here of this dog right in our face. We'll be topping off today in the lower 90s, potentially right around 92. I think we'll stop right around the lower 90s, very similar to yesterday. You can send your photos again at coin.com/petwalk. I always could use some new ones. 57 for Hillsborough this morning, Forest Grove at 62, Tigard 61. We have 59 for Battleground this morning, Washougal 64. So all of us right around the upper 50s. A nice start to the morning, I'd say, if you're going for that jog or that morning walk, but the air quality is going to be pretty low, so keep that in mind if you do want to do some activities outdoor this morning and into this afternoon. We'll top off in the lower 90s for the Valley, the Gorge 95, the central section of the state, mid-90s to the upper 90s along the coast today, potentially not even hitting into the 70s. There will be a couple neighborhoods along the coast that we might see that. 72 for Tillamook and 70 for Astoria. It's going to start off cloudy, a little foggy, and partly cloudy this afternoon. Lower 90s through the I-5 corridor. We'll have the fog this morning along Vancouver, Beaverton, right around the Columbia is your best bet for that fog. Poor air quality remains this afternoon. Upper 90s to the mid-90s east. Pendleton topping off at 98. I hope you have a great Tuesday, a wonderful start to your morning. Through the Gorge, mid-90s, maybe triple digits, and it's going to be very smoky through areas of the Gorge and into the Cascades where we might catch an isolated thunderstorm as far south of Detroit and Mount Jefferson area today. Air quality is poor. It's those wildfires. They've been kind of crippling the conditions here for us. It will continue. We'll have to limit that outdoor activity and the smoke and try to stay away from maybe doing all those activities out there this afternoon because things are going to really warm up. There is some relief in sight. It's way off in the Pacific. You can see this activity right here. It'll eventually push east. That will bring in some cooler weather by the time we get into possibly Friday. I think it's going to likely be the weekend, though, and that will also reduce the smoke out there. Let me grab the 7-day forecast for you. We have lower 90s for the next few days, and then we start to talk about those changes. Friday at 88, Saturday 86 degrees, and we have 52 days so far without any precipitation. We might get to Sunday and hit a wall there because we have a small chance for some rain on Sunday. For now, we're going to see the smoke and temperatures in the lower 90s. How's the commute this morning, Carly?
Well, the commute is getting busier. We're seeing more slowing out there. We still have this stall on I-5 northbound, the on-ramp there at Terwilliger, so it is partially blocking. Traffic is still getting by. It's not causing a delay. The stall is way off to the side there near the trees. So I-5 northbound hasn't slowed yet. 26 really hasn't either. So look at that. 26 eastbound is 5 minutes in from 217. Now on I-5 northbound, expect 16 minutes for the drive-in from Wilsonville. There is a little bit of slowing on I-84 westbound right around I-205. It doesn't last long, only 6 minutes there, and 12 minutes in from Vancouver with the slowdown in Vancouver from Mill Plain to the Interstate Bridge. Then it picks up. It's smooth sailing through North Portland there. Now, if you want to stay up to date with your commute, if we have something major, you'll definitely want to sign up for either text alerts or push alerts, one or the other, because I'll send out the same information to both here. And that way you get information straight to your phone when it's something that will impact your commute.
All right, thank you, Carly. It's 6:22. You're watching Coin 6 News, watching out for you.
And a bold plan for a company that makes electric cars coming up in a live report. We're looking at how Tesla is shaking up its finances. Well, we're getting a live look from a chopper flying over Houston, Texas. That's where there's been some massive flooding overnight. Now, 4 to 7 inches of rain fell in some places. It turned some neighborhoods into lakes, and it caused major problems with the morning commute. It's hard to see in this photo. You can see some wetness on the road.
Police vehicles in the center.
Yeah. I don't think we're quite looking at the flooding in this shot.
Yeah, just out of the top left portion of your screen was where there was a little bit of flooding.
And maybe some just commute problems. All right, welcome back to KOIN 6 News this morning. It's time now for your CBS Money Watch.
Roxana Sabiri joins us live from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Good morning, Roxana.
Good morning, Trevor and Jenny. Investors are watching for another record day here on Wall Street yesterday. The Dow picked up 25 points. The Nasdaq gained 32. Tesla wants to fuel up on junk bonds. The electric car maker says it will raise about $1.5 billion through its first ever offering of the bonds. Junk bonds are higher risk investments that offer higher yields. Tesla is seeking cash to ramp up production of its new Model 3 sedan. And Google has fired a male engineer who wrote a controversial memo attacking gender diversity at the company. James Damore's memo went viral and sparked outrage. It claimed there are biological reasons women are not suited for tech industry jobs. Damore says the firing is political and is exploring legal action against Google. Trevor and Jenny?
Well, good luck with that to that guy.
Yeah, I think that's
He'll need it,
right?
That's just my woman advice there. All right, thank you, Roxana. Hey, it's coming up on 6:28. You're watching KOIN 6 News, watching out for you.
A big change is ahead for Portland police. We have more on the woman named to lead the bureau.
And hidden dangers are discovered at a popular Portland park, the play area where workers are on the lookout for broken glass this morning.
KOIN 6 News this morning starts right now.
Good morning and welcome back to KOIN 6 News this morning. It is just ticking over to 6:31. You're taking a live look at Stoller Family Estates. It looks like a nice, peaceful, relaxing start to the day out there, although you can kind of see a little bit of the haze, the fog, the smoke that we've been seeing around our area. We want to get right to Joseph Dames with a look at both the forecast and an update to what smoke we might be seeing.
Well, we're going to see smoke as we continue into this afternoon, so poor air quality. It's going to be hazy outside. We saw pretty much just some fog on the Stoller camera this morning. We're going to have the fog across areas of the Columbia, pushing into parts of the wine country. It should clear up this afternoon, and we're going to bring in some sunshine, but it's going to be just like yesterday. It's going to be kind of muggy. It's going to be hazy outside. Temperatures warming up to about 91 degrees this afternoon. Yesterday we topped off at 89, so we managed to stay below 90 degrees, but today I think will be a couple degrees warmer. So the air quality and the smoke, it remains to be pretty low as we go through today, but there are signs of things getting better. I'll tell you one coming up in just a few minutes. Carly?
Well, we have a report of an accident here on the east side, 148th near Mill Street, and you can see it right there on the map. Doesn't look like it's impacting traffic flow. You can see I-5 now at Terwilliger. Just a reminder, we still have the stall partially blocking the on-ramp to I-5 from Terwilliger, but it's not causing any delays. We have rush hour delays out there on I-5, I-84, and the Sunset. So I-5 southbound is 13 minutes, 8 minutes on I-84 westbound, 8 minutes there for 26 and from 217. But we don't have any slowing yet on I-205 southbound. It's 12 minutes there, and that's from Highway 224 to I-5. Expect 8 minutes on 217 southbound, and a quick drive in from Wilsonville. I-5 northbound is only 16 minutes.
All right, thank you, Carly. A new leadership is on the way to the Portland Police Bureau. Mayor Ted Wheeler has appointed Oakland, California Deputy Chief Danielle Outlaw as the city of Portland's next police chief. Now, Outlaw is a 19-year veteran of the police force and has been a deputy chief since 2013. She has degrees from the University of San Francisco and Pepperdine University, and she's a member of the National Organization for Black Law Enforcement Executives. Acting Chief Mike Marshman will retire effective immediately. Outlaw is expected to start no later than October 2nd. Well, a Woodburn police officer is due in court today to answer allegations that he sexually abused a young girl.
Reporter Brent Weisberg joins us now with a look ahead at what we're expecting to happen next. Brent?
Hey, good morning, you guys. We should learn more about the allegations being made against this Woodburn police officer in just a few hours when he makes his first court appearance in Hillsborough at 8:30. This case is being investigated by the Tigard Police Department. As I mentioned, it's being prosecuted in Washington County. That's because officials believe that the alleged abuse happened in Washington County. Police arrested Daniel Alvin Curbs in late July after the DA's office charged him with online sexual corruption of a child, sodomy, and sexual abuse. The case is being investigated by Tigard Police, and according to their detectives, the victim in the case was a minor. Court records show that the allegations date back to a small window in time back in 2013 and 2014. We've learned that the officer was not employed by the city of Woodburn as a police officer during that time. Police still have not said what specifically occurred or how old the child was when the abuse occurred. Today's hearing is scheduled for 8:30 in Hillsborough. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Brent. Well, a man arrested for an attack at the newly opened Poets Beach will be in court today. Jonathan Rance was arrested yesterday and now faces numerous charges connected to the assault on a couple late last month.
2 people have been arrested during a protest against oil trains in Vancouver. Now, police say demonstrators blocked a rail line to protest the proposed oil terminal at the Port of Vancouver. Opponents say oil trains pose a threat to the environment and communities along the rail line. Well, a state energy panel is reviewing the project. It will make a recommendation to Washington Governor Jay Inslee, who has the final say.
A Vancouver hit-and-run driver has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. Joshua Johnson pleaded guilty to hitting a man whose leg had to then be amputated. And Johnson's mother is currently serving time in prison for another hit-and-run. That happened back in 2013.
Hey, you'll want to keep an eye out for extra hazards at Portland's Westmoreland Nature Park over the next few days. That's after the discovery of some broken glass. Those shards were found yesterday in a sand area where children sometimes play barefoot.
It's terrible. I mean, I think that, I love this nature playground idea with the sand and all of that. I think it's so cool. I wish that people would be a little more respectful.
Well, Portland Parks and Rec tell us that they visit the park daily to check for safety issues.
Right now, U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is on a one-day official visit to Thailand. He's trying to mend relationships with Bangkok after the military seized power 3 years ago. Thailand has long been considered one of Washington's key allies in Asia.
Meantime, in Africa this morning, former U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is among thousands of observers who are monitoring a presidential election in Kenya. So far, turnout has been tremendous. Kenya has 20 million registered voters out of a population of more than 40 million people.
The military has identified the 3 Marines who were killed after an Osprey aircraft crashed Saturday off the coast of Australia. These 3 men they were missing and they were declared dead by the military. The aircraft was carrying 26 Marines when it crashed. More teenagers are participating in high school athletic programs than ever before.
A survey from the National Federation of State High School Associations shows nearly 8 million American students participated in high school sports last year. But while more teens are joining athletics overall, fewer are taking to the field for football. The number of high school football players dropped nationwide by more than 25,000 last year.
I think that's probably going to be a continuing trend.
With the concussions and the reports that are coming out.
Yeah, a lot of parents are just saying absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's 6:37, and coming up, we have an update on the morning's top stories.
That includes the results of a new opinion poll. We have the latest on the president's approval rating right on the other side of the break.
And a foggy start to our Tuesday morning. Here's coming out of the coast. But we're going to see some more smoke in the sky as we go through this afternoon. I'll let you know when it will all clear out. Coming up in just a few minutes, my full forecast.
And your morning drive is only getting busier. So I have several slow spots to show you, a couple accidents to report, and I'll have the latest drive times coming up.
This is a larval rearing robot, and if that sounds exotic, it's because this machine is one of a kind. It will produce 20 million mosquitoes, and it could be the key to wiping out dengue fever, the Zika virus, and other deadly diseases. We'll show you how coming up on CBS This Morning.
Welcome back. Mayor Ted Wheeler has appointed Oakland, California Deputy Chief Danielle Outlaw as the city of Portland's next police chief. Outlaw is a 19-year veteran of the police force in Oakland and is expected to start no later than October 2nd.
Well, investigators have located the car belonging to a missing 23-year-old Washington County woman. Demi Helenius was last seen Saturday attending a conference in Portland. Her car and phone were both found in the Eugene area.
The body of a missing Salem boy has been recovered from the Willamette River. Crews found the body of 5-year-old Alan Chaz Pearson yesterday, about 13 miles downriver from where he was last seen on Friday. The death is being investigated as a drowning.
President Donald Trump's overall approval rating currently stands at its lowest point in CNN polling. Overall, 38% say they approve of Trump's handling of the presidency, with 56% saying they disapprove. Now, you can find the latest and all of these top stories anytime online on KOIN.com.
Well, today, the brand new Carpool Karaoke TV series hits the internet. The show's available on Apple Music. It features celebrity and musical guests singing songs and going on misadventures. And of course, Late Late Show host James Corden will show up as well. He's going to host the first episode of the season, which you can watch now, and then he'll return for the finale. So new episodes are going to drop every Tuesday on Apple Music. And of course, you can always see the Late Late Show every weeknight here on KOIN 6 after the Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Be interesting to see if it's as funny without him doing it, because he's kind of what makes a lot of the interviews, I think. But yeah, we'll see.
Who do you want on it?
Who do I want? Well, who hasn't been on it?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm trying to think.
I like Barry Manilow.
All the big pop stars have been on it.
They have, yeah. So like maybe some oldies like Barry Manilow, Lionel Richie, something like that. Getting back to my Born in the 70s.
Maybe another group, because he's had a lot of single artists. I know he did Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, they were good.
So another group would be nice.
Full bands.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go, Trevor.
Rod Stewart, you want Rush in there, right?
I would like to see Rush in there. Yeah,
really?
A lot of, have they have any rapping artists?
Any rapping
I believe they're called
artists?
rappers.
Any rapping artists?
artists?
Yeah. They've had what? They've had Usher. I don't know. He's not a rapper.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't recall.
Yeah.
Well, maybe more of that.
Okay, more of that. All right, time to get to weather and traffic. And, how's it looking on the roads?
Well, it's looking slow in some spots. Your typical morning rush hour out there with a couple accidents to throw in the mix here. So an accident reported at 12th and Carruthers Street, and the other one is a little farther east, 148th near Mills Street. Let's take a look at drive times now. Now, I-5 southbound is the heaviest backup with delays in Vancouver and through North Portland. 14 minutes in from SR 500. It's still pretty clear, though, on I-205 southbound. Just a slight delay before the Glen Jackson Bridge. 10 minutes there for that drive time. 14 minutes on I-205 southbound. It now has slowed to a crawl here just before the Abernathy Bridge before you reach 99E. 14 minutes from Highway 224 to I-5. 217 hasn't slowed, so 8 minutes there southbound. Same for the northbound drive. Look at 26 eastbound. It's 10 minutes in from 217. You'll hit delays right after 217 at the Sylvan exit. I-5 northbound is a 17-minute drive from Wilsonville in. I'm starting to see a little bit of slowing around Nyberg, so that drive time's going to get longer as that starts to slow. And take a look at I-84. It's 9 minutes from I-205 to I-5. Joseph?
Well, some morning fog this the start to our Tuesday, so you might need to slow down for your commute, but a lot of us should see nice sunny sky this afternoon with a little bit of smoke embedded in that. Here's Portland right now. You can see those clouds. Temperatures in the lower 60s. It feels pretty comfortable if you're cruising in with the windows down this morning. This afternoon, we warm up about 30 degrees warmer than this, so maybe get things done this morning. Here's Monmouth. We can see the haze in the skies. Skamania at 62, and along the coast, that's come out Seaside at 56 degrees. 50s for Hillsborough and Forest Grove, so again, a pretty cool start. 60 for Tiger, Lake Oswego right around 63. 60s off to the east, Gresham at 56, and Happy Valley this morning to kick off your Tuesday right around 57. This is what we can expect this afternoon, approaching 70 degrees along the coast. It's going to stay pretty cloudy, so that's going to keep our temperatures a little bit cooler. But for the valley, lower 90s, approaching the mid 90s through the gorge. So if you're going for a hike today, not only will the air quality be limited and kind of low, it's also going to be pretty hot outside. So you might want to hold back on that or maybe plan for another day. 60s and 70s for the coast today. Morning clouds and some fog. We'll top off in the lower 90s here. Vancouver right around 92 degrees. Kelso in the upper 80s up towards Castle Rock too. And again, the poor air quality continues for our Tuesday. Upper 90s to near triple digits. Pendleton right around 98 degrees. That smoke continues temperatures through the gorge from those wildfires. The government camp area right around the lower 80s this afternoon, and possibly a few thunderstorms developing for areas of the Cascades. So Mount Jefferson, where that fire is over there, might see some thunderstorms this afternoon. We have the air quality that has this pour from Portland all the way down towards Medford, stretching up towards areas of Spokane. I just came in an airplane yesterday. It is so smoky. I could tell exactly when we started to approach the Pacific Northwest because there was just a layer of smoke. So limit your outdoor activity. The smoke and with the warm conditions kind of traps things towards the surface. So again, if you have any sort of outdoor activities today, might want to plan for maybe another day because it is going to be a little stuffy out there. All right, so potential change is on the way. It's likely going to approach us on Friday into the weekend, which is going to be a nice welcoming change because this big area over here in the Gulf of Alaska is going to push some clouds in, some cooler weather, and that should reduce the smoke. Here's our early forecast for the eclipse. You might have heard that it might be cloudy and rainy on that day. I still think it's a little too far out to really judge that, but this is what we typically see for that time of the year, and it gets a little bit better for areas like Madras. We could start to see what potentially could happen on that day in some of our weather models, so I'll increasingly change this as we go through the week, but you can reach out to me on social media as well because I'll have updates on that eclipse in the forecasts all this week and approaching next week up to that date. Also send me some emails if you want to. You can send in your photos for the Pet Walk forecast too. 7-day forecast, temperatures in the 90s of our Thursday, 88 on Friday, Saturday 86. Our chance to break that dry stretch come Sunday with a little bit of rain.
Thank you, Joseph. Didn't even know you were legally allowed to put rain on the 7-day forecast.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I might get arrested.
You know, for nearly 150 years, the Clark County Fair has been a summertime tradition, and we've been learning over the past week or so, it really has a lot to offer.
Cor has been showing us all sorts of things. He's live at the fairgrounds in Ridgefield with even more this morning. Cor.
What a cool stage show they have here. This is Professor Smart, and he has good morning. How are you? Professor Smart's science show. We got about 2 minutes, and we got a lot to get through. 3 times a day, this show's here at the tent at the fairgrounds, Clark County Fair. Let's get her started, Professor Smart.
Levers and fulcrums. Amazing devices. Things are flying over here.
All right. Over here.
Optical illusions. Head shrinking optical illusions. Cool.
Good.
Van der Graaf generator. Oh my goodness, we're gonna make someone's hair stand up on end. Woo!
You don't have any hair though. No hair, right? All right.
This is cool. We talk about the Earth, centrifugal force, gyroscopic properties. Oh, hang on there. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, indeed. The equator. We're all moving on a great big gyroscope. Life's like that. All right.
All right. Now we try this. This is all interactive, too, by the way. If your kids are out here, he drags them out of the audience. This is a 30-minute show compressed into just a couple of minutes here. All right, the ball is suspended. Ball coming down here. Going to hit the power button. What a grab that was. Very nice. Very nice. Now, this is one of my favorites here. Go ahead, Professor. All right.
This is called the theremin. It actually plays with the electromagnetic fields around your body. Here we go. The closer you are, the higher the pitch. Your turn.
Do it.
Invented by Leon Theremin, 1910s. He was a Russian. He was a spy. Here, let's get to it. Here we go.
Well, it's the second time I've done this with my butt this morning on a different sort of segment here. All right, you get the idea. Clark County Fair goes on today. Professor Smart will be here. 3 shows this afternoon. 1, 4:30, and 6:30.
1, 4:30, 6:30. Let's get it right.
1, 4:30, 6:30. That's what I said. Professor Smart out here at the Clark County Fairgrounds this weekend. This and a lot more.
If you have to, bring your kids. Only if you have to.
If you have to. It's optional. He's not saying you have to. Jenny and Trevor?
Cor Harlan's play-by-play of science shows is a show I would watch. I would watch a half hour of that content.
And that guy, I want what he's having.
Yeah, I just want that on a loop.
Yeah, this guy's,
He's something,
He
yeah.
may have had a little more than coffee this morning, I think.
All right, well,
Sam.
we hate to break away
Yeah,
from
as
that.
fun as that is.
Yes, all right, thanks, Cor. Hey, this morning, people in Sri Lanka are taking part in an annual event that dates back centuries.
This is a 10-day celebration that wraps up with a giant parade. Take a look at this. We need Cora Harlan narrating that. They've got dozens of elephants marching alongside hundreds of performers in this parade. All of them wear these elaborate costumes that take all year to prepare. This annual event celebrates a sacred Buddhist relic. It's enshrined in a Sri Lankan temple. We're going to be right back.
Welcome back. You're watching Coin 6 News, watching out for you.
Trump's buddy Vladimir Putin is also taking a break this next 2 weeks. He's in Siberia putting on a snorkel and shooting fish with a spear gun, though he later claimed the fish was killed by Ukrainian separatists. Of course, since it's Putin, he also released photos of himself chilling by the river. Man, those sanctions have already devastated the Russian shirt industry. I will say that compared to Trump's vacation, that looks like a good vacation. Yeah. I would love to go on a bro-down fishing trip with Vladimir Putin. I bet it would be so much fun, I'd never come back.
Well, Stephen Colbert is keeping track as Russian President Vladimir Putin enjoys a little summer vacation. Tonight, his late show guests include Christoph Waltz and Chris O'Dowd.
Putin likes to take his shirt off.
He sure does.
Yes, he really does. Yeah, he'd probably be doing that here, Joseph, because it's hot.
Oh, so hot and smoky. Temperatures in the lower 90s. We do see things kind of cooling down, at least signs of some cooler weather come Saturday into Sunday. Maybe even a shot of rain, which we haven't seen in 52 days, but expected to be hot, a little foggy this morning and smoky this afternoon.
And I've got the latest drive times here for you. So we've got some slowing in from all different areas like I-5 here, which is 16 minutes southbound from SR 500 to the Fremont Bridge, 9 minutes on I-84. 26 eastbound is slowing from 217, and it's a 12-minute drive. Then check out I-205 southbound here from Highway 224 to I-5. Expect 16 minutes, 11 minutes on 217 southbound, and I-5 northbound from Wilsonville to the Markham Bridge is 19 minutes. And they did have a problem with TriMet ticket machines accepting some credit card transactions, but that's back up and running for those of you who are headed out the door and going to take public transit. So
it's been a while since I got, like, what was that, last week when that happened?
It was last week, but it may have come back up and then gone back down. I don't really know because I've been gone the last couple of days. Trevor has been filling in.
I know nothing. No, they've got it kind of figured out. We've got a little bit of time left. Can you elaborate on the Sunday chance of rain, maybe?
Oh man, 52 days we haven't seen rain, so it's very small, but we might have that rain late Sunday into Monday morning, which is nice.
All right. We'll keep an eye on it. Well, don't go anywhere, because CBS This Morning, coming up in just a few minutes, they have more on a brand new CBS News poll regarding President Trump's handling of North Korea. So we're going to have more on that. We'll see you back here at noon.
Bye.